Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. I have to double check because my brain is on Saturday for some reason. I'm just waking up, so excuse the fact that my hair wants to basically explode outwards instead of lay down like I try to get it to do. Seems like nowadays my hair only does what I want it to do if I put pomade in it. Pomade? Well, it's like a hairstyling gel type stuff. Um, I have two videos that I'm trying to post. One of them I did last night. It's a cooking video. I know y'all love my cooking video, so I'm going to try to get that up tonight. The other one is a Tuesday afternoon video, or was it Monday? I can't remember when I did the video. But I have not put it public yet for two reasons. One, it's long. It's an hour long, and I'm trying to make my videos as short as possible, but that particular day when I did that video is I just had a lot on my brain, and I had a lot to put out there because I had um just different things I had on my mind. Plus I um I answered one particular comment from a viewer that I felt that needed I felt like I needed to say something, but the other comment I made was, well, I'm thinking about just not putting that video out because of the length of it. What I might do is I might try to go in there and edit the video, which y'all know I don't do editing very well. Or, actually, you know what? Since I don't really have any new Bible content right now, I didn't take the chance last night to sit down and write anything. So it's kind of like, oops. Um, and since I don't really have any content for this morning, because like I said, I'm just waking up, I think I might just do that part, the Bible part of the video, real quick here in a second. Um, Today is Thursday. Today is a day off, so we are going to try to. And I'm not saying that we're going to do. I don't want to say we are doing anymore because Jerry Ann has had for the last couple of days a neck problem. It's like stiff and very painful. Well, not very painful, but she's having difficulty with it, and we're treating it here at the house with heat compress and icy hot. It seems to be doing her pretty good while she has it. Um, she doesn't know if it's stress related or what because she's been going through a lot of different biological, psychological changes. So she's 50. It's menopause. She's having a lot of different things going on, and I feel for her, and I worry sometimes that if it doesn't work itself out within well, my next day off would be Monday. So if it doesn't work itself out Monday, I'm going to basically demand, and I hate using that word, that she goes to see our doctor, or tries to go in to see a doctor, because stress related, I don't know if stress related menopausal problems would last as long as it has, let alone up until Monday. That'd be almost a week. But I'm starting to have, and I think it's a bed. This is my personal opinion because this morning I woke up and my neck, right down in here and in here, both sides, are a little tense. Not like painful that it hurts when I move my shoulders or my neck or anything like that. But I think it's something to do with the bed. I really do. Um, because if and when we go see the doctor, if it persists, and the doctor says it's not, we can't tell it's stress related, but we can tell you that it is muscle related because of the way we're sleeping, the way we're laying, our bed, our pillow, whatever. So I'm concerned about that. So I have my concerns, and I know that Jerry and I are both very stubborn people when it comes to certain things, and I'm learning that our stubbornness when it comes to our health and whatnot, not good, because it could be a serious problem that we're trying to ignore. But like I said, it's in her neck. I know from studies and what I've been told, stress can affect the neck region. Why, I don't know. I'm not a full profession. I just read stuff. And I know from my own personal experience that everything you read does not always pertain to an individual person, because each individual person can deal with various things differently. That in factor, it has been proven by scientists that the each individual person's not genetic, um, I forgot the term now. It had to do with our immune system and how our immune system is affected by various chemicals or various compounds. So I know because I have a abnormal, how the doctor put it, an abnormal immune system that can build tolerances to the effects of medication, but the medication toxicities could be a determining factor of how much I can take or how long I can take it. But anyhow, the young lady that I was trying to talk to um, via this forum, the message that I was trying to put out there was on the hour long video, and it was towards the end of the video, so I didn't want to put that out there for a number of different reasons. But she was telling me, and anybody can go read the message or whatnot, the comment. She was telling me on one of my last videos, I like 2 or 3 videos ago, I think, that like me, she has struggles with her faith and whatnot. And that's an understanding factor, because I think a lot of people nowadays in our current situation, between the global pandemic, the national unrest, the economic issues because of COVID, and the lack of business or the lack of um, financial gain, or you're out of a job because of COVID, because your company or your business or wherever you work closed down. A lot of things are happening, especially in big cities like Chicago, L.A., and New York, where a lot of people couldn't afford their rent, and the landlord or whomever they were paying rent to um, decided to basically kick them out of their homes. I mean, whole apartment complexes in New York became abandoned because the owner decided to kick everybody out because nobody could pay rent. And it's like, really? In a crisis situation like this, you're going to basically worry about how much money somebody's paying you. Now, I can understand that, okay, you're not getting money from your renters, and because you're not getting money from your renters, you're going to have issues with the electric company or the utility companies and whatnot wanting to shut you down because you have no way of paying them. Thankfully, a lot of states, and if not the whole nation, has gotten to a point where it's like, look, we're going to give everybody a relief or some sort of relief on taxes, or not taxes, I don't know about taxes, but on paying bills and whatnot because of the current situation. And then there's a lot of cities, a lot of states that are doing their best to provide meals for those who are out of work or can't make enough money to make ends meet. And certain priorities are, I mean, yeah, you gotta keep a roof over your head. Um, thank goodness, knock on wood. Um, well, I got wood right here, so. But thank goodness, for the most part, um, we here at my house are able to bring enough money in between my job, YouTube, um, some unemployment for through Jerry, um, mom's VA. Since we all live together, we all pitch in to pay the bills. The only bills that mom does not help us out with is our personal bills, which is usually our credit card, our car, our gas, the doctor visits, things like that. Mom, I basically said, Mom, we'll pay. We'll both put in X amount of dollars into a joint family account to pay for food, utilities, mortgage, whatever we need to pull money out of to pay for our living. Um, that was an agreement we all made. So mom doesn't pay for my bill, my personal bills, Jerry's personal bills, Jerry or my doctor, our car insurance, anything like that. That comes out of us. So we're able to do that right now. Again, knock on wood, because my hours lately, because business is slowing down at my job, my hours have been kind of drastically cut. Um, so far this pay period, I've only worked like 12 hours. That's that's gonna hurt. That's gonna be hurt. That's gonna be painful. Now I think I get paid tomorrow, so the 12 hours is last week's hours and this week's hours so far. I think I have to double check everything, because my boss is a lovely lady, but she literally said keep your punch out slip so you can keep track of your hours, because her the person who basically does the finances for her for the job, the store and all the people working it, um, is not always up to date. I think she said, I can't remember, but this was coming from her. This is not from me. But anyhow, jumping back on what I was trying to say before, I got sidetracked. So what happens when I'm not fully awake? Um, yeah, I've struggled with my faith, and I can understand anybody else's struggle with their faith. This pandemic is causing a lot of different struggles, whether it's with your faith, whether it's with your financing, whether it's with employment, whether it's even your faith in your government. Um, but your faith in God, don't let it be shaken. I know sometimes it's difficult to get out of bed and and read your Bible, or get out of bed and deal with your day, then come home and pray. I know the difficulties of faith. And the reason why I can say this is from my own personal struggles, my own personal dilemmas. Um, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I was born and raised Christian. My parents did their best to make sure that, especially during my childhood up until we got back from Germany, so up until the mid 80s, we always went to church. We were always at church on Sunday. If there was a church potluck or social gathering, we were there. Potlucks, especially because my dad loved to cook, so he would always cook, and people would always, we would, if we came home with leftovers after a potluck, it was not our leftovers, it was somebody else's leftovers that my dad was like, oh, I'll take that home, I'll make something different. Um, my dad was good with that. When we got back from Germany, the problem we had, church wise, I mean, in a physical building, um, is my parents couldn't find one that they were satisfied with. It was either too big, or it had too many off the wall or non biblical regulation rules and regulations or whatever. That in fact, after Dad retired from the military, um, he had to work Sundays or he had to work overnight on Saturday. So Sunday morning was like he was either at work or asleep. There was no going to church. Um, yes, mom and I, even dad once or twice, went to a variety of different Christian concerts. We've gone to see Sandy Patty, Amy Grant, Carmen for him, Point of Grace. Um, we even went to see a comedian that was supposedly Christian, but it kind of leaked out that he was not, that it was all a bunch of whatever, even though he was funny as all get out. I'm trying to remember the name. Mike Warnke, I think his name was. Um, then after we moved away from Arizona, we weren't going to concerts that often, but one of the people that mom became friends with invited her to our local church here in town, and we started going for a while. And then I fell out of the church because of events that happened shortly after I tried to go to college, and I couldn't pay the bill, and I requested the ability to, or the option or the chance to borrow a small amount of money. It wasn't a lot. It was like $1,500 or something like that. Yeah, I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not. Just to help me pay for some of my college, and well, they denied it. Um, and then they turned around and basically used that money that went into a building project onto the church. And I kind of fell out because of that, because in my brain, the Bible says the church is supposed to help widows and orphans, and by military standards, I was an orphan because my father passed away. Um, not everything can go by military standards, but there's a few other events that just kind of made me go, okay, my mom's a widow, and you're not going to help her. And it was only to help her pay for one or two, like maybe $150 worth of bills, because she fell behind that month. It happens. But did that deter me from keeping my faith in God, in Christ? No. That just made me go, the physical aspect of a church, the building of a church, and the controlling body, a bunch of human beings who are flawed. We're all flawed, so you know. Don't get me wrong, I am flawed. I know my flaws and I understand them. But that's what kind of made me go, no, no, this idea of going to a building that is controlled by people and have their own agendas, whether they say they do or not, just it turned me off from going to an actual church. But unfortunately, I don't have all my notebooks from before Hurricane Sandy because I had a good stack of notebooks, journal books with all kinds of like notes and whatnot from my studies. But just because I don't go to an actual physical church anymore does not mean my faith is gone. It just means it's in a different direction or a different path. Whether it was a determination of my own or part of what God wanted for me in the first place, don't know. Just don't let the rigmarole and the stresses or the issues of our era deter you from keeping your prayers going, keeping your Bible studies going. If you decide to basically not go to a physical church anymore, don't let that stop you from keeping your belief and faith and Bible studies and prayers going. In fact, and I can't remember, I read this not too long ago, but he was a historical figure, um, 1800 period era, whatever you want to call it. He was not a member of any known church, but his his letters to, and I can't remember if they said the Vatican or the Church of England. I can't remember what church he was writing to, but he was considered a theologian or not a theologian, no, theologian, yeah. Uh, uh, he was an undocumented or uneducated believer. God, I wish I could remember where I got this information and remember the full story. But he wrote on a regular basis to his local whatever group was in it was the more prominent religious group in his area, and he was from Britain, and he would write letters to the head of the church on a regular basis, and it caused not a stirring as in, oh, this guy is a hypocrite or this guy is blasphemous or anything like that. It literally caused a lot of different reforms in the church at the time. But he never went to church. He did not have a deacon or pastor or minister or pope or bishop or anybody like that above him. The only thing or anyone above him was God himself. He didn't answer to any person. But his reforms and his ideas for reform in the church made a big difference, made a big impact to, and I do believe it was the Catholic Church of the time, because at the time, there was probably more Catholics that are known than there were anything else. But the point is, the man was born and raised by whatever religious group he was raised in, and he, as an adult, stopped going to church and basically studied everything he could for his whatever he was doing, and wrote letters to his local bishop. Who is the head of the church? Who is the head of the Catholic Church below the Pope? Is that a bishop or is that a cardinal? I don't know. I don't know the different titles or levels of the church of the time, the English Catholic Church or whatever it was called. But what I wanted to read to this lady, I pulled it. My study Bible here has sections where it gives you areas that you can learn from, and this is called learning. And I'm going to paraphrase this because I don't want this to go over 30 minutes. Basically what it says here, and I'll give you the two Bible verses. The first one is Proverbs 12:1. And basically it's saying whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. Whoever hates concentration, I'm not paraphrasing. Whoever hates correction is stupid. Now that last word is kind of harsh, but it I wouldn't have said stupid. I would have said foolhardy, because if you're not disciplined enough to do your studies or to learn anything, I said that wrong. I'm sorry. If you're disciplined enough to learn something, you love knowledge. I mean, I crave knowledge. I mean, granted, a lot of the things I read might not be knowledgeable. They're more for entertainment purposes because I'm bored and I can't find anything, or I can't afford to go out and buy the books I want for the knowledge I want. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. I hate those. But yeah, I've got, well, the bulk of my books up here are for entertainment value, but I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, roughly 8 books in here right now that are for knowledge purposes. Granted, Mary Summer Rain, who is more of a Native American, but there's a lot of knowledge in there. I mean, to help understand the Native American ways or beliefs, or however you want to put it. Then I've got my Audubon book, or books. I've got books on Vikings. I've got, not in here, but in the other room, I've got more Audubon books. I've got books that will teach me how to cook things, recipe books. Even though they're cookbooks, it's knowledge. Now, all the Harry Potter, which is not mom's, Harry Potter, which is Jerry Ann, Twilight, which is both of us, Lord of the Rings, which is both of us, the Assassin's Creed books, which are mine, the Dragonlance books, which are mine. They're entertainment. They're Dragonlance. I started reading Dragonlance way back in the late 80s. Because of a teacher that I had that was basically like, read a book, a novel, not something with pictures. Give me either a written or verbal essay, and that will count for 55 to 60% of your grade. Yeah, that's why I passed reading with flying colors, because I was reading books I was interested in. Granted, the first couple books I read was Jack London's Call of the Wild and White Fang. And then I got into the Mary Summer Rain books, and then I got into the Dragonlance books. So, yeah, I proved to myself, thanks to that teacher, that if I read something I'm interested in, I will retain knowledge. But the second passage, which is also Proverbs 15:5, it says that a fool spurns a parent's discipline, but whomever heeds correction shows prudence. Basically, knowledge of any form, whether it's biblical knowledge, worldly knowledge, historical knowledge, cooking knowledge, crafting knowledge, with the way the web is nowadays, with the web, you can go online and basically, let's say you want to learn metal crafting, metal smithing. You go online, go into the search bar, type in metal smithing. It will bring up tons of information from metalsmithing. I'm not saying that I'm going to do that because I don't have the time nor the facilities, but it's the example I wanted to use. So, I mean, you can go on there and type in whatever you want to look for. You want to look at the certain kinds of news. You type in, you go to you can go to your favorite news website and type in the question, and it will pop it up. Or if you're becoming more and more like me and Jerry, and I don't like this, I prefer to do it myself. Get one of those Amazon Dot units with Alexa, or just talk to Siri on your phone and ask a question. And if they can, if their programming allows them to look it up, they'll look it up. If not, they'll tell you they can't find it, or they need a better question or something. I don't know. I'm old school. I'm still kind of old school, even though I like technology. I like to look it up. My local library is kind of small, but if they don't have it at the local library, I can always go online. But I will go online and I'll either use up a whole bunch of ink and paper and print it all out, or I'll sit there in front of the computer and get lost in the information. But whatever religion you're in, whether you're a Christian, and that covers a whole lot of different titles, or you're not a Christian, I'll ramble them all off. Buddhist, Mohammedanism, Confucianism, Druidism, Shamanism, Odism, even. anything you need, any faith, whatever faith you follow. If you feel that you're slipping or you're having difficulties with your faith, just just double up on your reading, double up on your prayers. Um, Footprints is, and I'm gonna try not to cry on this because ever since I got it after Robert's passing, it hits me hard. Footprints is a prime example of our walk with God, especially us Christians. Um, we have difficulty in our lives, whether it's personal difficulty, family difficulty, the loss of a loved one. God right now is probably holding up the world because we all are having issues due to COVID and all the other global events. Hurricane Delta, Roman numeral or Roman word Delta, is strengthening in the Gulf Coast region and is going to be hitting the Gulf Coast. The Gulf Coast region has had about 30 hurricanes hit or go through the Gulf Coast region this hurricane season alone. Almost 30 hurricanes in one season? That's nuts. That's crazy nuts. Then we have the wildfires, whether they were started by a person or by lightning strike, I don't know. But the thing is, they're devastating the West Coast. They're devastating various parts of the various countries. Australia had a couple. We've had a bunch. I think I heard about one that was somewhere in maybe it was maybe it wasn't Europe. Maybe it was South America or something like that. Wildfires are on the rise. Hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes. In fact, I woke up this morning with 3 different alerts of 6+ on the Richter scale in 3 different locations. Peru, the Gulf, off the coast, not the Gulf, off the coast of Africa, in the I forgot the name of the trench, but it's the Atlantic Sea. It's the Atlantic, the one in the Atlantic off the coast of Africa, and then one over in New Guinea was one, Africa was one, and I think there was one. There's a third one. Well, Alaska's always having them, but not that high. But I can't remember where the third one was. But those are increasing. The high level ones. Yeah, we get quakes and tremors and all kinds of little shaky shakes all over the world on a daily basis. But I monitor the high ones because those are the ones that I kind of go, ooh, yeah. And I'm seeing more and more 5+, 6+. I hope I never see anything above a 6 because that's when I kind of go, what moved? What got shifted? So we are entering a period of time, and I don't want to say end time because that is one of those people have been screaming the end time for a millennium or more. Every time something changes, people start going, "Oh, it's end times." But with all the different activities, the different signs, the different things that perk my I'm gonna use the word, yeah, I have to explain it. Perk my heckles. causes the hair on the back of my neck to go, hee hee. Yeah, something's happening out there, boys. Um, I might joke about it, but the thing is, I take it seriously. I mean, I was like, I'm 49, and back when I was 25, I was sitting there going, I might be alive when the end times occur or start. Was that my crazy brain, multi religious following self going, yeah, yeah. Now, scientists may say that our sun still has several million years before it dies out, energy wise. Um, it's been proven by science that the sun has gone into what they call a dormant period, which has caused things like many ice ages, um, tectonic shifts, weather pattern shifts, just global changes. Is this pandemic, is all the increased activity because the sun went into a dormant period? Possibly. The one thing that they did say was temperatures will drop anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees, even maybe even lower in certain parts of the world. Okay, so what if it does? We are a very resilient species. We're also a very stupid species. Um, but I strongly feel that no matter what the circumstances are, and this is going to be longer than 30 minutes, I'm sorry. I'll try not to make it an hour. No matter what the circumstances are, if we keep our faith and we keep our eyes on the goal, eyes on the prize, however you want to put it, keep our hearts and minds with Jesus, I am strongly sure that we'll make it through. I don't think the human race is going to die off just because of global changes or natural disasters or even pandemic phenomenons. Um, I think personally, and this might sound cruel to some people, I personally think that what's happening is it is, whether you want to call it God, nature, or the universe's method of weeding out the weak from the strong. Now, I'm not trying to be a bully. I'm not trying to say anything bad. I'm just saying that there are times, and this has happened throughout the known history of mankind. Um, Look at the dinosaurs, okay? It was time for the rule of the dinosaurs to be ended. So it's a combination of a meteor striking the planet and an ice age to the meteor taking out the dinosaurs. Look what survived. Smaller life forms, small mammals, small reptiles, fish, birds, various smaller animals. Okay. Now, does that mean something's going to happen to cause human beings to be removed from the face of the planet and allow a new species of intelligent beings to arise? Who knows? I mean, I'm going to joke about it, but look at the Planet of the Apes. Now, according to the original Planet of the Apes, the 70s version, what happened was a disease wiped out a very large portion of service animals and some human beings. And mankind decided to take upon itself to start training primates to do various jobs. And the primates evolved, got smarter, got the ability to speak, and mankind became the um that's not the original Planet of the Apes, that's the newer one. Now, the original Planet of the Apes is mankind basically was nearly wiped out, and I don't know. I don't remember the full story. It's been such a long time since I've seen it, but basically, primates became the dominant species, or the dominant, the dominant species on the planet. It might sound weird and whatnot, but you got to realize that especially chimpanzees are one chromosome away from being human. They have been taught, they have figured out that the average chimpanzee has the capacity of a 4-year old's intelligence. You know, a young child's intelligence, and I'm like, what? Um, they've been taught to use sign language. They've been taught to use basic principles of putting the right block in the right hole type thing. In fact, they've taught they taught chimpanzees and not oregano. I can't speak. They've taught several species of primates to use sign language to let the handler, keeper, however you want to put it, to know what's wrong, what they want, what they need. Does that mean they're going to be taking over? I don't know. It'd be, I wouldn't say funny, but it would be interesting if, and I don't say take over, but if primates were the gateway for human beings to become not the lesser, but smarter through the animal kingdom, because the animal kingdom, animals are closer to nature and the environment than we are. We've lost our connection to the environment, to our the world around us. We've become like arrogant and thinking that, oh, we can cut down a whole rainforest and it won't affect anything. Yeah, you just cut down the planet's ability to make oxygen, which basically means either A, we're going to have to learn how to breathe carbon dioxide that we breathe out anyhow, or fix the problem. You can't just cut down whole rainforest and think nothing's going to. You're destroying habitat, you're destroying species of animals, you're displacing species of animals. I would call that arrogant and foolhardy. Am I an eco warrior? In a sense, because I understand that yes, we need space to live, but I also understand that we also need to learn how to live in the space that we have open to us instead of destroying rainforests for wood and places to live. And look at the native people of that region who live in harmony with their surroundings. They don't cut down a whole rainforest just to build a small town. No. They learn how to live within the rainforest. They've been doing that for centuries. Native Americans, they lived all across what we call the United States now without destroying their habitat or the planet around them. They lived in cohabitation. We, white Anglo-Saxons, white people, European people, most of what most people would call the old world, lost that ability centuries ago when we started knocking down forests just to make towns or cities or whatever. Granted, some countries have learned that they made a big mistake and they're trying to learn how to rectify that. Europe, for the most part, had solar power before we did, had wind power before we did, had thermal power, basically using the thermal energy of I can't remember what they're called now. They've learned how to recycle better than we do. They've learned how to take plastics and other things that cannot be just reused for other things and learn how to repurpose it. A lot of new buildings in one of the cities that I was looking at was not Amsterdam, Oslo, I think is the name of the town. I don't know. There's a couple of different cities in Norway and Scandinavia and Sweden and Denmark and places like that have learned to take plastic bottles, which are non-biodegradable, and other products that are non-biodegradable, and melt them down and turn them into furniture or siding for buildings, things of that nature. Hello, America. Can we wake up and follow suit of our European brothers and sisters? Because obviously they're smarter than we are. And okay, I've heard the argument, but it costs money. Everything nowadays costs money. But the thing is, would you rather deal with the cost of money to repurpose the non-recyclable items, or would you rather continue destroying the environment that you have to live in? That's the thing. If we don't get smart and start fixing the problems that we've caused, how much longer do you think it's going to stay underground before one day an earthquake decides to spew that stuff back up onto our front yards? Think about that one. Anyhow, I'm going to jump off my soapbox because this is getting too long. And I'm just going to quickly get back to what I originally started at. Faith. We may think that we've lost our way because we're not going to church anymore, or we're not praying as much as we used to, or we're not studying the Bible as hard as we used to. That doesn't mean we've lost faith. That just means we've taken a detour. Look at me. 16 years old, I lost my faith. I lost my way. I got off the Christian trail. Started going on to different trails. Guess what? I came back. I was directed right back to the trail that I'm supposed to be on. Look at footprints. You look back and you see two sets of footprints. At times, there's only one. They're not yours. They're his, because he's carrying you through a turbulent time. Doesn't mean just because you see one set that he's gone away. No, he's there. You're the one who's basically lost. You're the one he's carrying and waiting for you to regain your footing or regain your strength to walk beside him again. That's what it is. That's what faith is. True faith means that you're never, ever alone. Now, actually, I'm gonna reverse that, because it's not just about true faith. You can have mild faith. You can have faith like I do, where I believe in Jesus and I believe in God, but just because I also study other things does not mean I'm not faithful to my upbringing, my family, my God. No, it just means that I am open. And that's basically what Jesus was, open to everything and everyone. Anyhow, this has gone too long again, and I am so sorry, folks. I really am. Until next time, God bless and have a good day.